Why would I do that? For any favor, for any gift in return, why would I do that? Why would I give another man power over me? Are there men in this room?
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're here today with Steven, who's going to talk about his experiences being trained by Elliott Atwell, the man of rather dubious distinction that's being talked about all over the internet today. Steve, when did you begin training with him?
So I started working with him early June 2019.
Okay, how much did he charge you?
So he charged me $150 a month. In the first month, actually, he had forgotten about me in the first week. So what ended up happening is I had to go back in. I had to tell him, hey, you missed a week. So he ended up taking off about $50, give or take like 20. But yeah, $150 a month was average.
Okay. Well, how long total did you train with him?
I trained with him roughly 3 months, maybe a little bit more than 3 months, borderline 4, but 3 months total real training.
Okay. Where did you hear about him?
So I heard of Elliot through Dave, Dylan, David Lay, Dylan McKenna, all the guys from around here. Of course, I've known them for a number of years now, and I knew that they had been coached by him. So in learning that, I saw the results that they got, and I wanted to get a slice of that.
Okay. Did they actually recommend him to you, or did you reach out on your own?
They did not recommend him to me at all, and if I would have asked them about it initially, I would have gotten a different response.
What do you mean by different response?
They definitely would have gave me admonitions against working with Elliot as a coach.
Okay, fair enough. When you sought out Elliot to actually be trained by him, what were your physique goals?
So as far as physique goals go, I'm a guy of performance and strength. I had really not that many physique goals at all. I care about hypertrophy for the purpose of performance and strength.
Okay, so you were into the powerlifting
Yes.
idea. And in fact, you do powerlift, correct?
Now I'm judo athlete now, but
I mean during that time period.
yeah,
you were
I was, yeah.
Okay. Shifting back to the professional really quickly,
Mm-hmm.
was his powerlifting routines or whatever he gave you competent?
So if we're discussing Elliot's programming, there's a lot of contention between a few different people on this topic, but overall, his programs follow basic principles of progressive overload. Basically, they seem sound. Now, is it complex periodization? No. Is it daily undulating? Sure, but it doesn't really mean much. You can throw together a program.
Did it work for what you wanted?
Yeah, it was simple enough.
Okay. Was he available when you needed to talk to him?
Yeah, more or less, yeah, he was.
Okay, so as far as a coach goes, as far as just the information leading to you being able to elevate your lifts in a powerlifting way, so to speak, what he did was competent.
Yes.
Okay.
He was.
Now, getting into the stranger areas, did you at some point notice a transition from when you thought he was just a professional coach to when he started getting a little bit maybe more personal?
Yes. So there was a point where Elliot started to send me pictures of his other clients wearing jock straps and half-naked pictures, very sexualized poses, that kind of stuff. And he was, these are some of the more prolific people in the fitness industry, so to speak. And I was seeing these, and I was thinking to myself, why is this man, 35-year-old man, sending me these videos or these pictures?
Were you asking him to send you anything like comparative? Like, were you sitting there going, hey, what else are you doing with your clients? Or do you have any pictures of some naked men you'd like to show me? I don't know.
No. He was sending me this on his own time. And with it, he was almost trying to steer me. He was saying, this is like the epitome of sex appeal. These people are the paragon of what you should look for and what you should be in aesthetics. And you sacrifice 20% of your gains, your size gains and your strength gains for that sex appeal. Be at the top of this dominance hierarchy, he would tell me.
What the hell is the dominance hierarchy?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. I don't think he really knows what he's talking about in regards to any of that stuff. I think that he has this idea that hypersexualizing teenagers is somehow going to, give you more status. Now, of course, in the fitness industry, that's part of it. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is. But at the end of the day, there's no need for that.
And you had given him no reason to think that you were being like open to the idea that I need to look more like these guys, and therefore you should send me pictures of these guys so I know what to look for.
No, because in fact, I told him numerous times that my goals were not aesthetics.
Right.
I was going for strength, I was going for performance, and that I literally told him, and I quote, the inspiration I find for my training, when I want to find some inspiration, is I open up Beowulf and I go to the chapter where he's ripping Grendel's arm off.
Right.
And he says to me, why don't you sacrifice like 10, 15% of your gains, 20% of your gains, and get that maximum sex appeal? It's worth it, bro. It's worth it, bro.
Right. Okay. All right. I know you've been coached by other people too,
Mhm.
like since then and probably before that.
Yeah.
In what ways was his conversation with you seeming to be overly, not just unprofessional, but just inappropriate, even for a friend?
Honestly, none of his coaching was very professional. He always acted like he was a buddy.
Right.
He always wanted to. He was too relatable, almost. Like, my coach now in for judo, he's multiple-time world champion in judo and in sambo, and the man is very professional. He only talks about other athletes if they have done something prolific in the sport itself. Now, Elliot was talking about his other clients to me. He's like, oh, James is doing this, Lex is doing this, Anthony's doing this, and these are all guys that I know, and they're telling me, and he's telling me that what these guys are doing with the pictures, and he's sending me pictures of them, and I think it's very inappropriate to send unsolicited, completely unsolicited. He was doing this on his own.
Were the pictures themselves inappropriate though?
I think more or less, yeah, there was a connotation, yeah.
Right, but they weren't actually like naked pictures.
No, they weren't naked. No, they weren't naked
Okay,
pictures.
that's
At least not to me. Of course, we know with what's it? Ryan or Riley Pathley was getting sent those photos by Elliot, nude photos.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know him, but
Yeah.
in this particular case though, since he's coaching you for powerlifting, I'm sure that he asked you how you were progressing in your weights and everything like that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did he also ask you for pictures as updates?
He asked me for pictures. He constantly was asking me, and he the way I would send my progress updates, my physique updates,
Right.
it was not up to par with the way that he wanted to see it.
Right.
So ultimately, I would send him a picture. I'd be wearing I could wear this pair of jeans, and I got this shirt on, and then I'm got these jeans on, and I take the shirt off, and I'm sending just flex, and he's like, oh, nice physique. Let's see the legs. Now, he doesn't need to see my legs. I told him, number one, I'm in here for strength and performance, and two, he knows my squat and deadlift are going up. Therefore, why does he need to see my legs?
But did he insist?
No, he didn't. He was very careful with that, and weirdly so. He was very careful with everything that he said.
Well, wait, what do you mean, or what do you think careful in this context is?
He was deliberate in how he phrased any of his requests, as far as coaching goes, as far as pictures go, as far as any of the discussions about sex appeal, which are obviously very inappropriate. I mean, at the time, I was 18, but still, I would consider that very inappropriate.
So it's kind of like he would ask for stuff, but he wouldn't insist, is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm. He would ask for stuff and make it like, oh, it's completely up to you. It's your choice. You can do with what you want. But at the end of the day, he was promising, it was like selling your soul to the devil. You get something in return if you do this. And of course, we've seen that with the story that's unfolding right now.
Which you're obviously aware of, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. At what point did you realize that there might be some, I hate to use the word sinister, let's just say
It's evil.
negative aspect to what he was doing, or something that was way beyond your comfort zone?
Are we talking when I knew for 100% or when I started getting the sense?
Oh, let's start with the sense first.
I got the sense as soon as he sent me those pictures of his other clients. That's wrong. You should not send pictures of your other clients, especially if you're a physique coach. Imagine if they were women. What would the response be? He's sending me pictures of half-naked women who were his clients. Now, I'm not aware that he ever even coached women, but let's say he did, and he sent those to people. There would be outrage, but they're guys, so people, wouldn't think as much.
Okay, when did you know definitively that this was not your cup of tea, so to speak?
Definitively, I found out after I was at Attilis. That's home gym. I trained there, and I saw there Lex, Anthony, Ryan Casey was there, Dave, Lade, a bunch of people. And
those are the summer, right? I
yeah,
remember that.
yes, over the summer, yeah. And I remember I asked a bunch of the guys. That was when I met like Lex, Anthony, and they're telling me. I walked up to them and I'm like, hey, yo, I'm one of Elliot's clients too. And I ask, are you guys Elliot clients? Now, some of them answer yes. Now, I go to James English and I say, hey, nice to meet you. Are you one of Elliot's clients? And he says, no. Who told you that? Elliot told me. That's what Elliot told me. As far as
Mhm.
I was aware, James had been working with Elliot.
Right.
But this was not true, obviously. I mean, I found out very quickly that Elliot had lied to me about that he was using James for clout almost.
As you were talking to these guys who were here and had worked with Elliot before or knew Elliot indirectly, did you get that was a relatively common theme, that Elliot would lie about things for whatever reason?
Yeah, he's very manipulative, and I heard that directly from Dave too. Dave told me numerous times he is. I mean, obviously after I had asked about it and inquired about the situation as a whole, he told me numerous times this man is manipulative. He's sinister. He has bad intentions. He's just a bad person overall.
When you were talking to the group of people, what do you think they meant by manipulative exactly? I mean, what were they talking about? Like using what to do what?
He's grooming these kids almost. He's grooming kids essentially, underage teenagers. He's grooming them to get what he wants.
Okay, but you never got the impression that he touched any of these kids, right? Or these guys. I shouldn't call them kids at all, but
Yeah, there's another discussion, but I can't even say if in person he would have done that stuff.
right,
But we have the correspondences of what happened over online.
right.
Now I'm not sure if he would have been physical in person
Right.
with any of his clients. Maybe that would have been crossing a line for him. Maybe he just a pervert and he wants a voyeur and he wants
Right.
to see all these things. But I'm not sure.
Right. No, I know you know a lot about the story that went on with all these people because you did talk
Yeah.
to them, and I know it may not be the place to like air all their
course,
kind of
yeah.
dirty laundry. When did you stop? When did you actually stop training with Elliot? I mean, what motivated you to finally do that? Was that conversation with them?
It was in part, but mostly it was after another conversation I had with Dave. Dave told me a lot of stuff pertaining to Elliot, and it was clear after that I had no business working with someone who's so bad, who's so manipulative, who is so morally reprehensible, and there was no way that I could, in my heart, work with someone like that.
So when you sever ties with him, you sever ties with him as as a coach, and also even as a friend or acquaintance.
Yeah. But I was still contacted. I was still sent things outside of the gym, the realm of the gym, outside of fitness.
So you still treated like a friend or whatever.
Yeah,
When
like a
you-
buddy.
When you which is okay, but when you severed ties with him,
Mhm.
how did you do it? Did you just go, "I no longer need your services," or did you go, "Listen, you morally reprehensible half-blood hobbit that likes to have sex with small children that are elves"? What did you say?
I took the Machiavellian
That was a
route.
joke, by the way, guys.
I took the Machiavellian route, and I told him, I don't need the coaching services.
Right.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay.
And
When he
severed
continued
there.
contacting you after this was over as a buddy, in what way did he contact you? Like, "Hey, how you doing?" Or
Instagram DMs, posts, things that pertain to like I collect some knives and I'm into firearms as well, and he's sending me stuff like that. Watch collecting. He's sending me all this kind of stuff from his collection, and he's talking about all of his belongings and his material possessions, that kind of stuff.
but he
Trying to
don't,
impress me.
but he didn't send you pictures anymore of like athletes and stuff like that,
No.
unsolicited.
No.
And he didn't still do like sexual conversations with you either at that point.
No,
He
because
like kind of took the hint.
honestly, I had established many times that I wasn't going to be one of those clients because I had heard rumors, but I didn't think that it was as severe. I didn't think the situation was as severe as it was until I really found out exactly what went on.
So, and now I'm kind of putting words in your mouth. So, in some ways, it was maybe harder to deal with it because if you took away what we would consider to be inappropriate sexual behavior,
Uh-huh.
he was kind of okay.
Mhm.
But he had that left turn into that really, really weird area
Yeah, absolutely.
of I like to see pictures of little people and I want to see pictures of their people around them and I want this
Mhm.
giant world of pictures that people send me.
Yeah.
But if you took that out of it, it's kind of like, oh, he's good. Wow, he's terrible.
Yeah, it's really just. I mean, there's other stuff about him. There's a lot of other stuff about him. There's a lot of personality traits. There's a lot of underlying.
But are those things you experienced personally, or are these things you kind of got from the other guys?
They're things that I experienced personally.
Oh, like what?
Narcissism, arrogance. He thinks he knows everything. He absolutely does. Use of logical fallacies purposely because he knows he's more intelligent than a lot of other people. I mean, clearly he has a command of language. If you've seen any of the stupid insults that he types up on Instagram, But he uses illogic on purpose because he knows that most people aren't going to be able to take it down.
Right.
He knows that most people can't argue with it because he simply possesses a higher command of English.
So some people would either be baffled or maybe impressed.
Yeah, and,
by
and
that kind of thing.
he got that exact response from a lot of his clients. You'd see on Instagram strings. This man had time to do this.
Right.
Grown man has time to type out essays on Instagram comments, numerous ones, and his clients are like, "Yeah, champ, yeah, you go, yeah, you tell him," and people are liking his comments up and down. And this guy is defending people for whatever the hell, or getting pissed at people for whatever reason, and it's all on people's pages that want nothing to do with him. A lot of it,
Right.
it's pretentious that he would even like.
So you
seriously.
definitely, at some point, developed a real big distaste for this guy.
Yeah.
Right.
And he keeps these people in his back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't like him, even if they distance themselves from him, he still would follow Dave, or he still would follow James, and he would post stuff about, oh, when I used to coach this guy, or when I used to coach this guy, or back in, oh yeah, I used to coach Dave. Because why? Because it's advantageous for him materially.
Did you have much contact with other clients at the same time that you were training? Because you were on some kind of message boards, right, or something like that. Didn't they have anything like that?
No, I don't think he did anything like that. I mean, I wasn't on anything
Right.
like that. Maybe there was a group message between like one of the tighter circles.
Right.
I'm not really that close with any of those guys at all.
Right.
I mean, Dave I've known the longest, but other than that, other guys I just met a couple times, maybe
Right.
once, and just converse with them in the gym when I saw them, or
Mm-hmm.
with Instagram DM a couple times, So
Okay.
nothing really about Elliot that much.
Okay, is there anything else you want to add while we're talking?
I think it's important that people watch out for this kind of stuff, and people, especially young people, need to understand that if you are steered by someone like this, you need to watch yourself, because you have absolute responsibility of your actions. So yeah, I understand that there's a case where you might be enticed by someone's ill wishes, and you might want to go along with something that people are he's gonna give you something. Don't do it, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for you.
Oh yeah, did he offer you gifts? Like, I mean, you hear these stories about like people got cameras and dollars.
Where's my camera?
and
Right?
penis pumps and fleshlights
Yeah.
and Japanese dolls. I think that actually that didn't happen. I'm just saying that.
I'm sure it could have happened.
But were you in that wonderful criteria of sex toys?
No, I was not fit into the wonderful criteria of sex toys. And I think he has a type. I think he really has a genetic type. It's almost eerily resembling eugenics. Right? He wants this master race of lifters. No, but anyway,
Clean cut American
he
boys.
he absolutely has a type,
Right.
and he absolutely has a mindset type too. He likes that aesthetics stuff. He loves it. Now, I have nothing against the aesthetics stuff, whatever
Right.
you want to call it. It's cool, but Elliot seems to have a real fetish for it. The same way that Joe Weider back in the day, people say that he had a fetish for large pectoral muscles and huge biceps. The exact same scenario right there.
Only Elliot wants a lot of pictures of them if he can.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Joe Weider did more things physically.
Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in and talking about it. I really
Anytime,
appreciate
James.
it because, it's funny if you think about it, guys, and I know we're talking about this right here, but for someone to have such a strong, negative, and specific impression of a coach that they had is a pretty telling idea, because there's certainly a lot of people that have left coaches over the years that they didn't like very much or didn't agree with, but this is a pretty specific, especially given the context of the thing we're operating in right now. It's a pretty specific negative experience that Steve had, I think, with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Let me turn this off. Well done. We talked a while, actually.
One more thing. Personal responsibility. I'm in charge of what I put out into the world. If I post something or send something to someone, something that's embarrassing or incriminating against myself, it's my fault. I mean, why would I give someone the power, the leverage over me? Intentionally, why would I do that? For any favor, for any gift in return, why would I do that? Why would I give another man power over me? Are there men in this room? Be careful. Don't do that. Don't hold your honor. so cheaply. Hold yourself accountable and hold yourself to a standard. Be careful.